Hey, I hope everybody's doing good because currently, I think if I were to rate how I'm feeling today, it'd be I'm gonna give it a 7 because I think 5 is kind of like the baseline of neutral, and then I think below that's just you're having a bad day and it can only get worse. So I'm having a pretty good day. I'm tired because I traveled all day, but other than that, I feel pretty good, pretty primed up. I'm PRing in like 2 days, so I'm very excited. Just a little tired, you know. But I figured with how much experience I've had lifting over the years that I'd talk a little bit about my experience having injuries, because I've definitely had a few, but I'll just go over the biggest ones that shaped my weightlifting personality, I guess you could say. But right when I graduated high school, literally my first day of college was easily the worst injury I've ever had in my life. That was the end and peak of my ego era when I was just lifting as fucking hard as I could all the time. I was just coincidentally starting to get fully committed to Olympic rather than just benching and squatting and deadlifting for fun and shits and giggles. But essentially, first day of college, it's been at least 2 weeks, maybe 3 since I've worked out. But I'm in my ego era, so I'm thinking that I'm going to fucking kill it no matter what because I got all the adrenaline I need day one of college. And I walk up, of course I go to the public gym on campus that I can't do Olympic at, but I wanted to show off and possibly meet new people because of how strong I am. Now, mind you, I don't train deadlift. I clean and jerk and snatch. So it's not really a whole lot more point in training a deadlift unless I want to be a professional power lifter. And it just makes me so susceptible to injury whenever I do Olympic. So basically, I go in and my thoughts are I'm going to do a PR rep max of like 4. So at the time, loaded on 385, thought I thought I was all that. First 3 went fucking awesome. I was pulling my shit. My form was hot dog ass, by the way. My ass used to go up like all the way up, and then I'd basically like straight leg deadlift it, but I didn't realize I was doing that back then. On the third one, I can just remember touching the bar and my entire low back just completely blew out. It was like it felt like a slight moment of like when you do a lift and you don't really remember doing the lift, you just know that you did it. I don't remember hurting myself, but I know I'm hurt and couldn't stand for a little while, and couldn't put up my plates. People had to help me out getting up, so I can imagine you can guess how many friends I made, and that was, fucking none. And I tried to work out a week later because it was my first injury, so in my head I'm like, oh no, that's definitely not a tear, I'll be fine. Came in a week later and just wanted to hit some lightweight to get back into it, and I tried to do 225 on bench and 275 on squat, and I tore my back more. So specifically, I had major tears on both sides of my low back, which was bad. Specifically, like more close to the spine, where all of your back core strength comes from. It's very important in every lift. And I just was stupid, and I tried to lift, and I couldn't do it. I have it written in my notes where I was just pissed the fuck off, being like, I hate my life, fucked up my back. And just long story short, I couldn't lift a single weight for almost 4 months, maybe 3.5. And it took 2.5 months of doing deload weight to get my form back and also get my muscles back used to it. And then another 2 months to be able to put weight back on to get close to numbers that I used to be hitting. So in all, 8 months of recovery, which was fucking horrible. And no, in my ego era, I did not go to a physical therapist or a doctor or anybody to get diagnosed or treatment or just any sort of plan to stretch. I just did it on my own, which is not what you should do. But luckily, that was the last straw I needed to get really humbled. And I managed to, I bought a pull-up bar. This was me where I learned how to listen to my body. And the biggest thing when you're getting over an injury is just very lightly stretching the muscles that are fucked. And then if you can do other sorts of exercise or lifts, you should, just lightly. Everything should be light until you're fully recovered, no matter what. But other than that, I couldn't do anything. Like, I couldn't put my pants on for a week because I couldn't lean over. So you got to start with what you're given. And so my first stretch was, I used to be able to touch the floor with my palms, and my new stretch was leaning probably half an inch forward. And I would just do sets of that because it didn't feel super painful, and I could feel the muscle straining, and that's all I needed. And so, unfortunately, you have to work with what you're given, and I had to build up from just about a half inch of leaning forward with some pain, pinching my back, and then eventually, now I can put my head through my legs now. Like, I'm very mobile at the moment. But the biggest thing I learned, I think, was just really accepting where my strength was at, because your maxes don't matter when you're injured. What matters is your recovery. And being humbled through such an experience allowed me to really just to really put my body first rather than the weights and the numbers. Everybody wants to put up a certain number after lifting for so many weeks or months, but your body should always come first. Even if you are 2 days away from hitting a PR, if your body feels fucked up in a pain way, and once you get injured, if it's pain or a pull or just some slight muscle strain, if you feel that straight up pain, you shouldn't be lifting, and you should take some days off and then get back to stretching, doing really light, like 30 to 50% at most of your max. And then if you feel good, go up a couple percentages at a time. And after a week, if you feel fully mobile and good, then you'll be more primed than you were before you got injured. But the whole point of that was just, you want to really focus on, I feel like people will get the most results, at least I have. 'Cause not that it matters to me, like, I don't care about this, but I don't take any supplements. Like, the most I take is 100 milligrams of caffeine. I don't even eat protein powder. So I can be a lot more at risk to injury than people on gear when they do Olympic. My body's not as sustained when it comes to throwing a giant weight over my head if I go too heavy. So for me, I've just learned to master my form and my volume first. And then once you've fully mastered whatever volume you're trying to do or whatever form you haven't achieved yet, whatever mobility you don't have, once you've really gotten to that next level, then you've deserved those heavier weights. You don't deserve heavy weights just because you show up to the gym every day. You got to make the progress that you're looking to make. So if you're doing Olympic and you can't squat below 90 degrees, you should work on that. And if you can get to that point and make all of if your form gets better in your normal training, then yeah, you might deserve a little PR, But I don't know, I felt like giving a little story about that. Luckily, I fully recovered at the ripe age of 18. It was an age where I could overcome such an injury. And I know 8 months seems like a long time, especially to people who are younger, but it's a very short amount of time in the long run. And if I had torn my back like that, even in my 30s, I'd probably be out forever in the lifting game. So if anybody feels a pinch right now, and not like a pull or like a slight strain, somebody feels like a hard pinch that's like fucking their shit up, then you need to give yourself a little night off, play some fucking video games, and enjoy yourself a little bit. And, but that's all I got. I just felt like sharing my thought on that. But yeah, just enjoy your day, hopefully your rating is above a 5 for how you're doing, because I feel like an 8 now, just mentally. But regardless, enjoy yourself.